Well, 9 more holes is all we've got left this beautiful weekend. If you don't know by now, we're in Santa Cruz. If you don't know by now, it's the Masters Cup. And if you really don't know you're on SpinTV, then you don't know you're listening to Jamie Thomas and Avery Jenkins bringing you home on Sunday. Ready to see the last 9?
I'm really looking forward to it. The action on the front 9. Outstanding display of putting. Man, Jeremy Koling right here just showing us how it's done from long distance. Paul with a knockdown eagle. And Ricky Wysocki just playing phenomenal golf, trying to make the epic comeback 9 holes ago.
Yeah, the big pink shirt is finding the basket with the putter, and Ricky's doing about anything and everything he can to close this gap, but 13 strokes off with 18 to play is no easy feat. But we got 9 more. Let's also see a little bit of this guy, Chris Watson. NorCal golfers know him. Central Coast fans know him. Ian had to school me a little bit on his game. Give a quick shout out to those boys all weekend. Central Coast, SpinTV, the collaborations continue. Really appreciate their grind, their hustle. And while we're giving some shout outs, shout out to Innova, shout out to the PDGA. We love you guys and we really appreciate everything you're doing to allow us to sit and talk about disc golf on a Sunday afternoon. Just like that, hole 10. What are we playing here, Avery? What did you do?
Hole number 10. It's a very straightforward hole, very much like a disc golf hole on a golf course. Very standard 400-foot hyzer. Should be easy pickings for these top competitors.
A standard 400-foot hyzer. What I wouldn't give to have that.
And when you're these top players, that's what you got. Christopher Watson playing a nice aggressive line at the basket and sticks it.
Yeah, he's got it. Like you said, 400 feet. Koling should be no problem.
Jerm might be maybe stepping down or clubbing down back to a fairway driver at a hole this distance. Very unfortunate De La roll, hitting that tree next to the basket and checking back to the fairway.
Even the slightest little rolls at De La, the slightest little grade.
As we mentioned before, played the first 2 rounds on the Delaveaga disc golf course. Here in the 3rd and final round here on the Delaveaga golf course. A very tale of 2 courses, tale of 2 sides, and different kinds of golf. Going for a very accurate course on the disc golf course to a more of a kind of aired out distance style here on the golf course.
And Ricky puts that hyzer right in the right spot there. And Jeremy's going to have to contend with the trees on this putt.
I don't know if you can even see the basket from that point. Maybe trying to look at a bank shot. You have to call this, right, before you put it off a tree and in.
That's how we played it in horse.
Looking for a little trick shot here. Big Germ looking to get creative. Wow, metal.
Drew metal, almost the birdie. Here's Rick to start his back 9 strong.
Gosh.
Just above the sweet spot.
So effortless. So effortless from that distance. It makes it look like a tap-in.
Christopher Watson looking to grab a birdie as well. Just sticks it.
He's been playing some good golf this weekend. Watching him on moving day, 2nd round, he made a lot of those putts. A lot of those big putts for birdie. Oh, look at being very courteous as a sportsman, fixing the chains for Paul as he taps in his birdie.
Yeah, got to make sure there's no flukiness from that distance.
Look at the camaraderie, handing discs over, fixing change for each other. It's just good sportsmanship all around.
Yeah, disc golf. It's fun at the top level, just like it's fun on your weekend rounds. Everybody loves what they do here. It's great to see that. That 12-stroke lead still looming. Rick can't get one on Paul.
Always thrown Innova and competed with Innova. I don't think I'd be playing this sport if it wasn't for creating the disc itself and then just taking it to the next level over and over and over again. How great the discs are themselves. It's really gained my trust, and I don't think I would be here without Innova. I don't see myself doing anything else.
Hole 11. Let's roll right along.
Just slightly under 300 feet here. either a forehand or turnover shot. You can play aggressive trying to get to this basket perched up on this little peninsula and a little drop off to the bunker below. A very technical hole and a hole you can't take for granted. A little high on the turnover shot. Watson gets knocked to the ground. A very long birdie putt from there.
Yeah, I feel like it's a technical right-hand backhand. This is probably the play.
It is absolutely the play. Hanging the forehand out and looking for a bigger skip. Catches some long grass and falls short. Paul with a sizable death putt.
And then Ricky's also going to go for the forehand. No surprise there.
Just trying to get inside the tree and get the skip. Again, catching some debris there. Ricky Wysocki.
Third time's a charm, right? That means Germ's going to get the skip he needs, right?
He's a forehand thrower and known for it. Good for distance, good for accuracy. Maybe not good for height as he leaves it low into the dirt.
Oh, come on, Germ. We're counting on you there.
Now, this is a touchy little second shot approach going forehand.
Especially when you're 7 feet tall or however tall he is. Makes the green, though. Should be able to get the par.
Wow, he looks so tentative on that putt, kind of second-guessing a little bit, puts it up there, and knocks it down.
I think he knows he stole one there, but, you know, he's trying to get the cash. He's climbing up those cash payout rankings right now. Good finish.
And these guys knocking down putts like there's no consequence of missing that shot. As you see that bunker down backside of the basket, any shot that carries into that bunker, you'd be throwing from there or putting from there. And just no fear. This is a truest definition of a death putt here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say casual about it. He clearly took his time, good extension on the follow-through, but just not in his mind. Koling is getting his back nine started slower than everybody else. An even 800 feet on this 12th hole par 4. Roller City?
A roller is a great option, obviously trying to carry the distance of the fairway. But, man, you see the bigger throwers going the big turnover flex shot, trying to get the distance and trying to cut off the distance on the second shot to the basket. Surrounded by bunkers, the cart path long and right out of bounds. It is an excellent golf hole as you're playing back to the clubhouse.
Yeah, a whole lot of room to air it out, like you're saying. See what Chris does with it.
Watson going direct line. When I was talking about the big turnover shot, I was actually talking about going outside left of the tree and flexing back to the fairway. Him just going to shortest distance between A and B.
Good point there, setting up for that second shot. Paul looks to be following what you're talking about.
A big distance, turnover, flex, destroyer.
Got to be, right? He's got his name on him. Might as well throw him. Here's Ricky.
A little lower, more direct routes. Not trying to get as aggressive as I thought he would. Just Wysocki hit. He does have the distance, obviously. And I expect big things from this hole. Oh, no, he says. I'm not sure what he was going for there. Germ, known for being a bigger thrower, a long-distance thrower, and tries to go roller outside but pulls it inside, out of bounds.
That was going to be my next question. If that cart path plays OB, clearly it does. Chris on the hyzer here.
See, it's a little short. Challenging those bunkers. Does get over the bunker, back in bounds into.
Paul can just see the flag over the rise of the hill there.
Kind of out of position there as Paul had to challenge a kind of awkward stance or awkward run-up, running uphill and trying to get the distance to the basket.
And this will be the third time we've seen an overhand from Jeremy Koling.
It's kind of one of those shots, man, when you're kind of indecisive on what to throw, but you still want to throw a nice, accurate, dialed-in, controlled shot, and does.
And kudos to the camera operators. I couldn't tell if he's trying to run that one or not.
I believe he was. A little tailwind knocked him down. He's kind of giving a little gingerly bid. Airball right again, Paul says. A lot of wind to deal with here as we kind of enter into the more open part of the course. You see that flag blowing right to left for this putt.
Yeah, even though the holes are open on the front nine, the golf holes themselves are kind of surrounded by trees, so you didn't see the flag stick moving quite as much.
As you see, awesome wind reads on the putts for Koling and Wysocki.
Yeah, that's going to be hole 10, 11, and 12. 3 birdies for Ricky on the back nine out the gate.
It's just great to see these putters going in the basket at range, showing why they deserve the spot on the lead card, putting on a putting show this final round.
It's so smooth. No flutter in that putt at all.
Dead center, where we want it to be.
Could watch that all day, all day. And battle for third. Koling and Watson duking it out. And this is the least Muni course hole that we have. This is probably the most like the course up the street.
Yeah, this is a disc golf hole on a golf course. Changed from last year. It was like a 500-footer, longer par 3. And now they throw another little forehand or turnover shot in the mix. That path down the left side being out of bounds. And you have to really challenge the inside of this fairway, trying to get the distance, trying to get the carry. It's only 315 feet, but not a hole you want to overlook. You want to get the birdie on this one.
Forehand delight, and Ricky puts it inside of his range. Looks like a backhand for Christopher here.
Probably mid-range, maybe understable. And that one not doing either as it flares out, hyzering out of bounds.
Paul McBeth will be next to tee.
This is the play. You're trying to go forehand shot. Just trying to get down the middle, not trying to challenge any of those inside trees. Just put it out, air it out, get the distance, and attack this hole. Ooh, that was a big skip.
Yes. Skipped off the downslope on the backside of that green right there.
A good mix of shots out here. As much as you see big backhand shots, you're seeing a good variety of forehand shots, really forcing these players to have both sides of their bodies effective on the technique of throwing the disc.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of forehand shots off of this lead card today, and even on a couple holes, the entire card goes forehand off the tee.
The way Jerm's been putting today, I don't think this one's out of his range.
Oh. I feel like I've said it a lot today, but he didn't miss by much.
McBeth out of the jungle.
Yeah, he got to roll way down there. I didn't realize he was that far. Here's Ricky with another opportunity.
Wow, knocks it down, getting that stroke back on Paul.
You know what his favorite word is? Momentum. Watson, center of the heart there from well inside the circle. And a Koling's arm length putt away for Jeremy. Going to finish up the most disc golf-like hole in the golf course. I like that. Yet another look. Like I said, we watched this all day. No flutter in the putter from the chains to the tray. 10 strokes. 4 birdies in a row for Ricky Wysocki. I mean, what can you say? He's doing everything in his power to make a run at it.
That's all he can do. That's all he can do is birdie his holes, maybe shoot a course record, and have a chance at the end, possibly if, see a couple hiccups. But, man, you have 5 holes to go on the 4-time Masters Cup champion. He knows how to close out tournaments with less strokes on the lead. And at 10 strokes right now, I think he's just going to walk this in. Hole number 14, 640 feet. Really, it's a good length golf hole, but it's got low ceiling. Really hard to get distance down the fairway. Try and get the big carry with a backhand roller or a backhand air shot. Really trying to get down the fairway. Second shot's really where the difficulty comes into play with the green, the bunker, and the fast back fall off down the backside of the green.
And if it sounds like we're struggling about figuring out how to break this round down, it's because, you don't want to call it over. It's tough. 10 strokes, and there's on an open course like this, there's not a lot of obstacles that are going to hold these guys up in the early part of the fairway, which create those scoring separations.
That doesn't happen. He just hit an electrical box or some kind of irrigation box on the golf course. That doesn't happen anywhere else but on the Delaveaga golf course, getting that.
Yeah, you know, he may have the hardest lie, the most difficult lie he's had all weekend, just standing on that, but you still don't expect him to have too much trouble.
Christopher Watson watching a couple of varieties of rollers here, opting for the low line flex air shot. Good control, good accuracy, not trying to bite off too much more than he can chew.
Yeah, and you still got to contend with the green. Slopes away from him from this vantage point.
You see the basket poking out there. Trying to maybe go trick shot, flare skip off the green. And there's that little drop off we're talking about. Very fast down the backside. And there's an OB path back there, but there's tons of room. These players have a lot of room to work with and be very aggressive on this second shot.
It turns a 10-footer into a 25-footer real quick. Koling resting at the top of the hill. You think he's thinking throw in or lay it up here?
It's funny, you hear these players react right when the disc leaves out of their hand, you know, like he didn't like that one. And I thought it was a great shot, but obviously with just the sloping downside, backside of the green, it's a little fast, a little quick. Even when you put it next to the basket, it's still skipping down the hill, leaving this putt.
I mean, the expectations are so high.
But what's the matter? You put it next to the basket, you throw it 40 feet down the hill from the basket, you still get this result.
Yeah. Hey, Rick, keep draining them. We'll keep spinning them back. Great putt there. Showing Chris Watson the line.
Wow. Good confidence, good execution, run it out.
Holding his own.
Christopher Watson with the tucked up sleeve, very unorthodox kind of look, but I think it increases his range of motion and makes him feel a little better on the arm swing, on the putt, and displaying it there very, very easy.
All about that range of motion. Nice confident stroke from Jeremy Koling.
There you go, lead card.
Yeah, good putting. Good putting, good back nine. These guys are slaying it so far. Only one bogey on the entire card. We're halfway home. Halfway through the halfway. Move right along to hole 15. And I'll tell you what, I parked this hole once. This is going to be my claim to fame on the entire Muni course.
From this tee pad?
Playing the practice round last year with Ian and the Central Coast crew before they did the Champs versus Chumps. And this might have been the only birdie I got, but I did get this one.
Just over 4 1/4. This is a big thrower's tee shot, trying to carry the green, trying to carry the bunker, and the basket perched up there on the hillside. Ricky getting a little aggressive there, going big distance, wide right, and down the hill.
Yeah, that's big. That's got to be almost 500 feet.
I think Paul might have to take a little bit off this, and maybe a little higher, maybe a little more angle, playing that aggressive line. Checking up right on the coping of the top of the bunker, checking back to the basket on the green.
I'll tell you what, the one thing I've noticed a lot about his game, he's stronger now. He's been committing a lot to a fitness routine, and I think it shows.
Yeah, he's throwing these distance shots with ease. Being a smaller stature guy, he gets all of it on these big throws. Not only being a phenomenal putter, but, man, being able to take advantage of these big, long-distance shots, whether it be on the golf course, on the disc golf course, just throwing some great length off the tee pad.
Yeah, and you've been around this game a long time. You've seen the evolution of what the prototypical pro player looks like. And I think it's more athletic by the year.
They're all athletes on this card. As you see, they got their own skill set here as good, accurate touch with the putter, but also having the ability to throw the nice touch stalls and good angles in the approach, and then the big distance off the tee. These guys have it all.
Yeah, and as you see there, Koling getting a little shooter's roll. Just enough to stick in the basket.
And when they miss, they don't miss by much. That was a nice uphill read. Left a little low, but kept it close to the basket for Christopher Watson.
Yeah, exactly right there. Just minimize the error and the mistakes and get it done on the putting green.
Ricky Wysocki displaying his freestyle skills.
Little disc spin. All right, Rick. 3 holes to go. Fortunately, Paul's going to take another stroke from him there as too much power landed him way in the back. And we're down the home stretch, made the final curve of this golf course. Hole 16, a little more cart path in play.
Yeah, the tee shot's not too dangerous. You can really get a big distance shot off the tee, trying to get as much distance down the fairway as possible. But this second shot here onto this very thin strip green, cart path short B&OB, access road to the golf course long of the basket B&OB. So the danger's in the second shot on this hole. As I see that roller getting away from Paul, trailing off left side, leaving a longer second shot to the basket.
Yeah, really aggressive. That's another cut angle there on the roller.
Whoa,
watch
hit a
out.
spectator.
Tug Werner, a.k.a. Skeletor, NorCal legend.
Whoa, what's happening here?
What is going on?
League card just going all out assault on the gallery here. They came out here to watch some good disc golf. They didn't think it would be this close up and personal with these players.
Yeah, you can't get closer to the action than that.
And Christopher Watson throwing the shot that I saw a lot of players throwing, just the backhand turnover, trying to get the distance. These guys going roller and hitting people.
I'm glad he redeemed the card there, because if they went 4 for 4, then we'd really have to question what's going on.
Rick going forehand short of the cart path. That's a sizable putt. A lot shorter than he wanted. Really hard to see the basket tucked back there behind the trees. At this point here, you know, Rick, he's back by quite a bit, and the holes are running out. I think right now it is just trying to hold on to second, and you see a battle for third with the other players here, and on the chase card, players making moves.
Yeah, I know at this point there's some big rounds being put down. I think Austin Turner was about 9 down at this point in the round, and you know, so if you're trying to maximize your money because you know the win is out of reach, then the strokes really do count, even coming down the stretch.
Wow, unfortunate break there for Christopher Watson, landing on the middle of the cart path. Wow, where'd that come from?
Rick doing Rick things.
Rick things.
That's where that came from.
A little Ian Anderson tribute right there.
Oh, yeah. Big shout out to the man, Ian the Manderson.
Oh, taking that one for granted as Rick rims off left side. Yeah, I talked about it before, but early in the week, a lot of multiple-time winners here at the Masters Cup. Paul McBeth had won it 4 times previous, but the record right now is still climb mode. 6 victories here at the Masters Cup in Santa Cruz.
6 victories. That's
a champ for you, though.
Yeah. I remember the first time I came out to Masters Cup was watching Champ in the playoff with Bradley Williams.
Yep.
And I was looking at him and saying, man, Champ can still throw. It was incredible. Right on hole 17. This was the start last year, if you remember. Ricky hit a big putt on this hole, and again on the next hole to go on and take it from Paul. This elevated basket, OB all around. This is dangerous.
They changed the rules on this hole quite a bit from last year into this year. That cart path, as you see, splitting the trees down there, that was out of bounds, so he actually had to land a shot somewhere around there to be in bounds.
Right around there.
But anything short of that cart path was actually considered out of bounds. So it was really a kind of a funky rule and a funky layout on this hole. But right now, with the design of this hole, it's a little more forgiving. And wow, I'm not sure where that landed. Backside of the fairway.
I think the spotter gave him the safe call.
Germ, oh my God, are you kidding me? Hangs it out left side. And no doubt about that's out of bounds. You see the OB line kind of extending off the left side bunker.
Now, he was having a pretty magical round there, but it looks like the Chariot's turning back into a pumpkin for Big Germ.
That's in bounds. That's Christopher Watson in bounds. Second shot, go drop zone. Third shot.
Ooh, he saved it for par earlier. He almost did right there.
Wow. Playing
Whoa.
aggressive, and you might pay dearly. Christopher Watson all over the top of the basket.
That one's really close, and there's Paul, just an absolute dagger.
So Paul was actually in bounds there and knocks down the putt.
Is that questionable? Is that asphalt?
Now they're talking about if it was asphalt rock or dirt rock was the big discussion there.
They even pulled in Braden Coolidge, the tournament director, and I think he deferred to the group decision. Quick shout out to Braden for the fantastic work he's done. Taking an already prestigious tournament and to the next level, just making sure that these great players get the recognition and the caliber of tournament they deserve.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
And as we draw to just about the close of the third PDGA National Tour event, I want to thank them one more time. I'm going to thank them early and often for all the support they've given. Gregoire, Downs, you guys are awesome. Keep doing what you do. And there is some magic and some history on this hole already, and it's only the second year it's ever been in existence. The big putt from Ricky Wysocki last year. This is pretty straightforward, a hyzer, right?
Pretty straightforward, downhill, sub 500-foot hole. You got pond to the left and cart path to the right, but really if you're a top caliber player, you're not seeing any of that. You're just trying to put the disc down the fairway.
I like that spot.
And Ricky checking up around the metropolitan area, Raptorville. That's
Raptorville?
within 10 feet of where he hit the putt last year for the win.
Might be population 1 there.
Paul McBeth released his shot. As he released it, he goes, oh boy. Thinking he pulled the shot, kind of shanked the shot, and it's not in the basket, but it's pretty close.
No, he played the wind correctly there. That was feeding it right to the pin. Here's Koling needs to hook up.
Letting it hang out a little more than he wanted. A little crosswind, trying to play the wind, maybe trying to get that carry back to the left of the basket. Didn't get the push he wanted.
And there's a little lower line on the hyzer from Chris Watson.
So Koling here kind of thinking, he's at a good position here. Rick is obviously on another level, separating second from third, but right now Koling's trying to wonder where he's at in the mix. Second card, third card, guys making a move this final round.
Yeah, these are the money putts here.
What if he made this?
Could he go 2 for 2? Oh, yes, he can.
Wow, how great is that to relive that moment again? Obviously not for the win, but man, to knock down a big putt on the final hole and Raptor leg run that baby in.
Yeah, he was smiling when he went up to it. He was going to run it no matter what. Good show of sportsmanship there by Ricky and a lot of fun.
And for the victory, Paul
For the
McBeth
victory.
claimed the 2017 title.
Redemption
Yeah,
from last week, from last year.
he really dedicated and focused himself this week, and he really won this title more than anything. You know what leads to this? Every Masters Cup winner has done what?
I believe won the world championship in the last 5 years.
He's setting himself right. He'd won the previous 4 until Ricky nipped him last year, and now he came back to win this year. A very victorious victory lap here in the final round for Paul McBeth.
Yeah, and kind of lost in the shuffle. We hope it doesn't get lost in the shuffle. Ricky shot 11 down. I think that's going to garner somewhere north of 1080 on the PDGA rating, and I mean, still massive. He played his heart out, and it just wasn't quite enough. He was in a pretty deep hole coming in, but he played phenomenal. Look at that, a clean sheet, 8 out of the last 9.
Jesus, wow, it's impressive.
Great show by all 4 of these competitors. Paul McBeth taking it down. He plays so well in Santa Cruz, and he did it once again in 2017. And it's been a lot of fun.
That's 5 Masters Cup titles here in Santa Cruz. He loves this place.
Yeah, 1 more to catch the champ. thank you guys so much for tuning in.
And we're here with the 2017 Masters Cup champion, Paul McBeth. Big redemption from last year. How do you feel in this moment?
I feel good. This was one that I won a few times before that, and then Ricky took it with a big putt last year, so it was good to not have to worry about that at the end.
Speaking of big putts, the eagle on hole 4. Take us through that moment.
I eagled it in practice, so I kind of knew that it was reachable, and I don't even know how far it was, but it seemed like 100 feet away. So just a huge putt on that one, but it was a good little momentum, moving moment right there.
And you had said in some interviews that you were disappointed with your performance last week in Konopiste. What adjustment did you make to make sure that you took this one home?
Everything. Putting, driving, getting out to the course, making sure where I knew where not to be. So just a lot more preparation and worked on putting and driving especially. Especially on these courses, putting confidence is huge.
Awesome. Thanks for your time. Look forward to seeing you more this year.
Thank you.
And the final standings for the Masters Cup after we talked with Paul McBeth. 10-stroke victory and a whole lot of people right around that 20 under par mark. Nate Doss making a run, tied for 4th with Jeremy. And that's about all she wrote here. It was a wonderful weekend in Santa Cruz. Great to see everybody back on the West Coast once again. The tour rolls on towards the north. Avery, played pretty well this weekend, hung out in the commentary booth with us. Really appreciate your time, my man.
Yeah, it was great to be here again. This is one of the 2 tournaments I play every year, the Masters Cup, not to be missed. And it's just great to see world-class disc golf at this level. And congrats to Paul McBeth taking the 5-time title here at the Masters Cup.
See you guys next time. Catch you here on SpinTV.